So the stupid news of the week is that Peter Dutton has made the claim that illiterate, innumerate asylum seekers are going to be swarming our shores to take Australian jobs. So there are a couple of things to say about this. First of all, the literacy or numeracy skills of asylum seekers is absolutely not something to be brought into the question of whether or not they should be let into the country under our obligations as signatories to the UN Refugee Convention, which says that once someone is assessed as a refugee, they should be resettled in Australia if that's the closest country, and we can certainly afford to do it. So regardless of the level of literacy and numeracy, this is not a skilled migration program. This is an emergency refugee program, and taking those people in is absolutely our obligation. Secondly, if you do have some people coming in who are illiterate and innumerate, that will actually create jobs, because we can pay people who are literate and numerate to teach those people how to read and write, and then they can get jobs too. So that's the first thing, is it's stupid to even bring that into question. And just a little word to the wise, bit of a pro tip for Peter Dutton: if South Park has already parodied the line that you are going to say, you might want to avoid it. And saying that people are going to come in and take our jobs is one of the most obviously ignorant and backwards statements that anyone has ever made, so much so that it is a cliche parodied in South Park a decade ago, and here you are saying it on Sky News in 2016. What a moron. So the other thing I wanted to say is that the great thing about modern monetary theory, one of my favorite things about it, is that once you divorce the role of taxation from funding spending, and you realize that taxation is really about controlling inequality, influencing behavior, controlling inflation, and driving demand for the currency, you're freed up to strip bare a lot of the reasoning behind these idiotic arguments for not letting people into the country. So they say, oh, we're going to come and take Australian jobs. Well, hang on, how about they come and get Australian jobs? Because modern monetary theory states that the government that issues its own currency on a floating exchange rate is free to pursue full employment. Then it becomes clear that the number of people in the country are the resources that the government can mobilize to the public purpose. These people, if we have people coming in here, that makes us more wealthy because it increases the real resources in our economy. Secondly, when they say, oh, they're going to languish on the dole queue, it's not an issue because no one's tax dollars are being used to fund the welfare payments of anyone who is coming to this country or anyone who's even on welfare. So all of these little divisive arguments that politicians use to pit one section of society against each other become completely moot. And once you realize this, you can state it, and if people still stick to their positions, then you know for sure that they're just assholes.